So if you're planning to grow any kind of squash or pumpkin this year, you need to understand species. Plants of a different species will not cross-pollinate. And squash plants, winter squash, summer squash, they come in 3 species. So when you look at the package, it says right on the label what the species is. So the first thing I do is make my mounds, and then the second thing I do is top dress with just a little bit of fertilizer. Now, fertilizer is a condiment. It's not a main meal. So you don't need to go crazy with fertilizer. And after we get the seed down, we take our planting stick, and I plant my seed 12 inches apart. So using my planting stick, I don't have to measure, I don't have to think. I just work my way down the row, putting my seed in, and then once that's done, I just press it down about 1 knuckle, and that's it. After that, we'll water it in. Now let's go talk a little bit about potatoes. So here at the garden, we have over 200 row feet of potatoes. So we only have 40 pounds of potatoes, but not 40 or 200 seed potatoes. So I had to cut them in half. So what you do when you look at the potatoes, you search for eyes. This is an eye, that's an eye, this is an eye. This is where the stem will come up. So I took the potato, cut it in half, let it dry for a couple of days, and then brought it to the garden. Once you get it in, I use my planting stick to get my spacing, and now I just get it, cover it up a little bit, and we're gonna let it grow. I'm not gonna do anything else until they start to sprout. But once they are planted, I want to just make the soil slightly acidic. And for that, I use ammonium sulfate, and I just put a little bit. So I just want to make the soil slightly acidic. That will help prevent scab and other diseases on the potatoes as they grow. Now further up, we have some volunteers. These are potatoes that were growing last year but did not get harvested. So right now there's a potato, and this is all of the sprouts I was talking about. So this is where the new potatoes will grow off of these stems. So as the potatoes are growing, we're gonna backfill and just try to keep those stems underground so the potatoes will develop. So if you have any potatoes at home that are sprouting, you can plant them in the garden and have potatoes this year. Garden is very large, so we need to take advantage of as much organic matter as we can. So whenever somebody offers us wood chips, we take that opportunity to spread them in between the rows. It keeps the weeds down, and it helps maintain moisture in the soil for the plants growing in the beds. Over time, they break down, and I call it composting in place. So every once in a while, we take the opportunity when we know that we're going to get new wood chips to rake out the rows and then spread the partially decomposed wood chips in the planting beds. They're not completely broken down, but they're broken down enough so they're not going to impede the growth of the vegetables. But the best part is now we have more organic matter in and around the plant roots.